What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, Dp-Ygo commentary. I think that's MegaCapitalG, right? Aha, knew it. Okay, so we have Dp-Ygo commentary. This is Soul's game, 1050 versus 14 Fluffies, 1066. Fluffies is one of the moderators on my Twitch stream, getting some of these guys, matches in because I know that they're not playing like Perform Apollo, Cosmo, or like Monarchs or whatever. So they're not playing the top three decks. We're going to be able to see a little bit of variety here. It is Ruri's versus Fluffies. Don't play nothing but heroes. So if he's not playing mass heroes, I'd be shocked. Like, he plays other decks for fun and whatnot, like Cyber Dragons, other decks like that. But his main deck is mass heroes. All right, so we see the Force Trick summoned. And let's see if Soul's game can make Shun or Ruri proud. All right, it's got that Singing Lanius. Gonna special summon it. Oh, no, does not. I thought maybe he might have another play here. Thought he would have another monster to throw down another XC. Now, if this is one of those are Icarus attack, Fluffies might get boned here. I might even want to just like throw out Shadow Mist and attack to try and see if I can get the monster for free. Doesn't stop the Icarus attack, but that's all I'm saying. All right, so starts out with a Hero Lives. I know he said he wasn't a fan of this card in the past, but bro, you just gotta play Hero. Oh, never mind. Check that. So 4,000 life points. 4,000 life points given up at the cost of 2,000 life points. A worthy exchange for Soul's game. The reason I like a Hero Lives is I don't really think life points are that important in Yu-Gi-Oh that much. Even if you play even if you play 4 Solemn cards, you're not gonna see all 4 Solemns. You know what I mean? If you happen to have a Hero Lives plus like 2 Solemns, that's unfortunate. Although technically, if they're Solemn Notices, actually you can still play 2 Solemns and a Hero Lives. It still doesn't matter. All right, so he just throws out Blaze Man attacks. Again, this could easily be an Icarus attack. Obviously, he didn't force it because he'd have to blow his own shit up, so not gonna happen. Activates just Blaze's effect, 420. All right, dumps a Shadow Mist on the field, or excuse me, into the graveyard. Gonna trigger its effect to get himself not a Blaze Man, but probably like, oh, he is gonna get a Blaze Man. I thought it was gonna be Bubble, but nope, taking Blazes. All right. I don't expect to see any poly plays or anything because he's in main phase 2, so it's like no point in summoning any any other big heroes if you're not gonna be able to attack with them anyways. So we could see an end phase Icarus attack here. I don't know if it'd be worth it, honestly, because you're just trying to shoot fish in a barrel. Like, I would try and trigger my effect. Unless you think you're going to get hit with like a Solemn Strike or something, then yeah, it would probably hurt. I don't understand why he summoned this. I feel like he summoned this just to try and Icarus and nothing else. But I feel like he wants that search. And if it was me, I would want the search then Icarus. If I get hit with a Solemn Strike, that's just the breaks. Like, that just kind of sucks, but it is what it is. All right, so he's going to activate the effect. And if I was Fluffies and I had a Fiendish or a Strike, I would just burn it. All right, gets Vanishing Lanius. Okay. And now we see the Icarus. See, this was all telegraphed. He's going to go after back row. You don't really care about Blaze Man. That was all very, very easy to read, by the way. There was nothing there. That's why I said if I was Fluffies and I had a Strike, I would have burnt it because it was pretty easy to read that as an Icarus attack. There was no other reason to summon, like, is it not? It wasn't Pain. Pain Lanius is like level 1. The one that he summoned, the little guy that you can only summon when you have a Raid Raptors XC. Oh, is that Soul? Is that Soul Shade Force? Activate Soul Shade Force. Yo, we could see a Cyber Dragon Infinity here, boys. Looks like he's gonna allow it to happen as he just lost Vanities and he lost what's it called, Time Space Trap Hole. Oh, and we got that young Infinity out, and he absorbs an XC. Or he absorbs Blaze Man as an XC material. That is brutal, especially considering the 2 cards that got sniped off of Fluffy's field could have stopped. Like, both of those cards literally could have stopped this. I mean, both of those cards could have at least been used. Singing Lanius. Damn, Tribute Lanius. Okay, so he has Tribute Lanius on fields. They all have Lanius in their name. I have to identify them by like the artwork sometimes. All right, dumps MegaCapitalG in the graveyard, and I'm predicting Fluffy's gonna lose here because the 4,000 cost him a lot of life points, and it didn't really pay off into anything. It didn't amount to anything, and Cyber Dragon Infinity can just largely negate whatever that face down is. I can't think of any, unless he has like Battle Fader or Effect Veil or some shit like that. I don't know Fluffies or any hero deck to play that, but you know, hey, Battle Fader was the card of YCS Prog, so who knows? So he's gonna banish a copy of Mimicry and gets himself a Vanishing Lanius. Vanishing Lanius. I'm sorry, I just always think whenever I hear Lanius, I always think of Shun from Arc V. All right, Battle Phase takes 25, takes 13, and GG. Doesn't really matter what that face down card was. If it's called a Haunted or I can't think of anything that it could have been. Like the only thing that it could have been literally if this was some other crazy alternate world is like Super Polymerization or something like that. Actually in the OCG I think they have Super Poly, but he would have had to have the right things face up on the field, and yeah, Cyber Dragon Infinity can't stop a Super Poly. Like if he had a hero or something on the field, he could Super Poly and his opponent wouldn't be able to stop that. By the way, if Super Poly was legal in the TCG, heroes would totally play one. Because there's too much good shit to contact into, or to super poly into. Like the one discard wouldn't be the end of the world, especially when you discard a monster and just Norden that shit back, like you know during your next turn or whatever. All right, so heroes opens up with Summoner Monk, and time to pitch. Get that turn 1 Dark Law. I don't actually know how good Dark Law is against I really know how good it is against Raid Raptors. Like, it stops Force Tricks, obviously, but just in general, like, I don't know. Icarus Attack seems like a very easy out to it. And an out that hero players really can't play around. All right, get Shadow Mist out by pitching Kazu Coliseum. Kazu Coliseum, obviously not that good with Monk on board, and probably no way to get rid of Monk unless he's going to Exceed, which would make, like, getting Mass Change pretty much pointless because then you'd be locked into an Exceed and not in the Dark Law. All right. And then goes for Bubble Man. Okay, so this is going to be an extremely strong turn 1 play as he'll have Rafflesia plus Dark Law. This is how heroes want to start. This is the whole reason you run Instant Fusion in the deck is so that you can open, like, preferably with this combo every single turn 1, is so that you can get Dark Law plus Rafflesia. Dark Law plus Rafflesia was even, actually, in my opinion, better than Infinity plus Rafflesia because it was easier to make and you still got your Shadow Mist search. Like right now, he could just go into Dark Law and still search. End phase goes into Dark Law. I don't actually agree. I don't think I would have forced the Dark Law here. I didn't really think there was a point. Although maybe he felt like he might have got torrentialed or bottomless or something like that. I guess he figures, you know, go into it now rather than later. Okay. I don't actually know a lot of people to be playing Torrential Tribute. I still love that card. I play it in my Cleaforts and I don't think I played in Magic Specters, but I played in like some of my Pendulum decks. I still think it's really good. You know, decks like Draco Pals, they kind of exceed, and you know, if you get their exceeds, they just kind of lose because their materials just kind of fall off into the oblivion known as the graveyard and don't come back. All right, so he eats 2,400 because nobody plays Battle Traps. But I mean, could you just see how incredible an Icarus Attack is right now? Like it would literally just. Fluffies would lose all his monsters, and heroes don't have the best recovery game known to man. You know, what they really need is they need a Fusion Reborn. That's what they need. Like I know they got Miracle Fusion. They need a card that just says like pay 500 life points, summon one Fusion hero monster from your graveyard, and it gains like 500 attack. It needs to do more than just be a Reborn, like because you can't use it turn 1. Obviously, your fusions aren't going in the grave. They need something that like gets back Dark Law. Or gets back, you know, Ab Zero, like that has pretty much no cost, but even makes it better. Like that's that tier 1. That's that shit that'll like get you right back to like best 3 decks in the game. It's like wow, we can summon Ab Zero back from the graveyard for 500 life points, and it comes back stronger than it was before. Like yeah, that's how you make a deck like tier 1 again. Konami release one card like that. Okay, so goes for I'm sorry, dude, I gotta read them. Goes for Vanishing and Tribute. All right. This is like the best one, honestly. Vanishing is like, he's like the marauding captain. He's the best one. He's the one that gets you to your fucking Xyz easily. All right. Now, I feel like, is he the Foolish Burial? Yeah, he is the Foolish Burial. It's not that, like, you wouldn't really want to use the Foolish Burial, obviously, with Dark Law in the field. So he's gonna Bottomless. Oh, Fluffies, I think you might be getting baited, dude. If you get Icarus, oh, good, okay. Thank God you didn't get Icarus. Now, that does mean that Soul's Game does not have to worry about Rafflesia using Bottomless from the deck anymore. really all you need to know is, or the only thing you can probably use is what's it called? It's time space. And time space is, you can kind of play around time space. You can't, bottomless is really hard to play around, but time space is actually difficult. Why is this card going down in price when every deck runs it? Like, I don't get that. All right, so shows him a copy of Fuzzy. He really wants to get to this Exceed play, which seems extremely, like, dude, if that's not an Icarus somewhere, you do realize he probably is going to use Rafflesia. Although, maybe he's looking at Icarus or Rafflesia or something. I don't quite understand this play from Soul's game. Activates Chaos Trap Hole, so there will be no Icarus chaining or anything like that. And there won't even be a Soul Shade Force, as none of this stuff goes to the graveyard. By the way, those materials, all of that goes to the Banish Zone. I think Fluffy's gonna coast a victory in this game. All the eggs were put into that Force Tricks basket, and I mean, he could have easily just used time space with Rafflesia, but he was just like, nah, I'd rather, because I was thinking, okay, maybe he can chain Icarus attack off of the time space, but he didn't even allow that. He just used Chaos Trap Hole, just shut it down. By the way, Chaos Trap Hole is still a very good card. As long as there are light and dark decks in the meta, I think it'll be a good card, because you got Burning Abyss and Monarchs. It hits everything in Monarchs, basically, except, like, I don't know, the red and blue layer, or the red and blue, like, Super Quantums. Hits a good amount of cards in Heroes. Hits the entire Burning Abyss deck, hits pretty much the entire Phantom Knights deck, except, well, hits half of it, doesn't hit the Speedroids. Hits all Satellar Knights, bottomless exchanged for Soul Game, bottomless for Neos Alias. I think Fluffies will gladly take that exchange. Card simplification only favors him right now, because Dark Law is just sitting on the field doing work. I feel like there's one more light deck that I missed out on that's like fairly meta relevant. I mean, I guess you could even play it against Dark Pepe, or dang, I hate saying that name. Excuse me, Dark Draco Pal. It's not Pepe anymore. There are no performages in the deck, so the PE from performages is no longer a factor. It was PE because PE from performages, PE from performer pals, but there's no more performages. All right, so both players obviously want to go first. Soul's Game just scooping. Turn one, Dark Law plus Rafflesia, too strong. It's a very strong field to get around. You can't search. You don't get access to your graveyard. In addition, you really can't go into the extra deck because, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, not Nightmare, but Time Space Trap Hole and Bottomless, they're both things. So you can't really summon any big monsters either, because Rafflesia is just kind of hovering over you like just some nagging woman or something like that. All right, so we see turn one Force Tricks. It's going to activate the effect of Force Tricks. He might be going back to the well. Now, this is a deck that I think should run 3 Icarus attack, much like Harpies. Like, maybe Blackwings don't need it as much, but some of these other decks, man, Icarus attack is just so good, offensive and defensive. All right, it's going to use Mimikry's effect. Banishes it to search. Have not seen a Raid Raptors Nest played. I'm disappointed by that. Raid Raptors Nest is such a fantastic card. You really only need like one of it, too. Gets himself a Fuzzy Lanius. Okay, sets 2 cards, a little bit of a wall up. And I think Raid Raptors will be significantly better once Shining Victories comes out and they get Ultimate Falcon. They can just summon their towers and just win. It's such an easy play, too. You just summon Last Tricks, and then you just, take that dude, you get your Satellite Falcon up, you just rank up that bitch, you skip force him straight to Ultimate Falcon, and usually you just win from there. All right, so we see Blazeman summoned, and he wants to activate the effects. Which effect is he trying to use? Oh, he's trying to use the Add Poly effect. Okay. So, I don't think that's worth a, what's it called? Like a Solemn Strike, or even like a Phoenix Chain. Like, I'd just hold. Because if you're going to add a Poly, you're going to have to invest a lot of cards on your polymerization, so I would just hold. He does throw the strike at it, okay, but he could easily fire like a Hero Lives or an Instant Fusion. Oh no, Fluffy says nothing. My eyes just went open because I was like shocked. Okay, this is why I'm such a big believer in Instant Fusion at 3 and decks like Heroes where everything is pretty much level 4 or Draco Pals. Oh, the Twin Twister clutchness. That back row is gonzo, and he can pretty much pay any monster because he's going to search another one with with Force Tricks. Maybe he has a spicy evac or something like that. Evac would be very good here. Ooh, Mind Crush. That's not bad. What's he going to call off that Mind Crush? It's going to call Tribute Lanius. And Soul's Game is stinking here. I mean, that could be a monkey wrench in his plans. Not that he can just get another Tribute Lanius, depending on how many he's playing. Because, I mean, he still has that Force Trick Search. I mean, not that anybody really plays evac device. Oh, my goodness. He's going to mass change too. What? And, oh, this is going to be insane. Okay, so the chain will now resolve. Assuming that Fluffies could have a response, obviously. He'd play like... I mean, it doesn't matter. The Tribute Lanius is out of his hand. He says you can't activate mass change too. Discard one card, target one face-up monster you control. Oh, it doesn't have a level. It has a rank. Oh, rip Aroni. He can't activate mass change too. Your monster does not have a level. It has a rank. I didn't even know about that. Rip Aroni. So now he has revealed his mass change too. I know whoever was watching this video was like, you fool. You can't mass change two and see. I didn't even read. Okay. So all right, now he's gonna have to reveal. All right, so Tribute Lanius has gone out of his hand from Mind Crush, and Memory Loss, a card that he's a fan of, it's okay to me. Memory Loss is gone. It's going to activate Fuzzy's effect. I assume he's going to search as well with Force Tricks. One thing that also Raid Raptors do lack, currently in the TC, they lack damage. Their monsters are extremely underpowered. Like, that's something you can just learn from the show. They have to make all of these crazy ways for like shooting the OTK people on the TV show and shit. It usually revolves around Revolution Falcon a lot of times. All right, Tribute Lanius is going to be added by Force Tricks. That would have been kind of a sick play if he would have been able to go into Dark Law there, but unfortunately, Force Tricks does not have a level. Yeah, Force Tricks it's a good card, but its stats are just not that good. Its stats are okay if you get a whole bunch of winged beasts on the field, like Castell and all the other Ruries, but outside of that, it's just not that strong. All right, so he's going to dump Mimikry in the graveyard, and it's going to activate Mimikry's effect, banish it, and search. Let me read Mimikry right quick. This card was, what's it called? That's what I thought. I thought it was all Raid Raptors. Why does he never search Raid Raptors Nest? Because he has 2 Raid Raptors on field. It's just like free advantage. Unless he like doesn't play Nest. Nest is such a good card. Like, who would not want to play Nest? Like, you just activate and you just search and just get more cards. It's hard advantage for days. All right, so just attacks with Tribute Lanius. After getting, I think, another copy of Fuzzy, but it's like, dude, you could have just played Raid Raptors Nest right now and just circumvented all of this searching. You could have just cut out the middleman and just had like more searching for days. All right, we see a Neos Alias played. All right, so that's gonna be Mass Change 2. He'll go into Dark Law. Now I don't know if Fluffies did that to force out the Mass Change 2. You know what? That makes even more sense why you would have wanted to go into Nest, because if you were gonna give up a card for Mass Change 2, then it makes way more sense that you were gonna that you wanted to search. But I mean, he's gonna get a search regardless, I guess. Now Fluffies plays Kaiser Coliseum. He should have done that before actually attacking. He should have just activated Kaiser Coliseum, and then immediately he should have just summoned, because Soul's Game would have had to respond to, he would have had to chain the Kaiser Coliseum, the Mass Change 2. Otherwise, the second that Neos Alias hit the field, it would have been too late. And Soul's Game would have been locked into a Force Tricks that can't do anything. And then Fluffies would have been able to slow him down and like reestablish the pace of the duel. Now Soul's Game gets rid of the Neos Alias, and he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. Now he can go into like 15 Force Tricks or whatever, play Instant Fusion and just go wombo combo, get his field set up. So yeah, I also don't think that I don't like Kaiser Coliseum going second either. Like with Bujins, okay, but it was like not optional in that deck until like Harume came out. But yeah, like for Bujins, you left them in because you kind of had to. But like in other decks, like I don't really know if I like it going second. Like you see Cosmos don't play it anymore because they've like basically evolved beyond that. I expect another Force Tricks to come out, thus empowering the first. Or maybe he might go for, I don't know. If he had like a Vanities, I'd go for like Master Key Beetle. I'm pretty sure that they play that. Nope, goes for that Gusto Emerald. It's not a bad card. If Fluffy's runs over the Emerald, that means he'll probably not be able to get over Dark Law. He doesn't have a graveyard to get to anything crazy like Ab-Zero, the Ab-Zero superhero or anything like that. He'd need like Raigeki or something like that, because Dark Law is just putting a weapon on him. That's actually the epitome of irony. Like heroes struggling to kill a Dark Law. that's insane. You never see hero. That's like totally a taste of your own medicine. But we see 6 cards to 3. Advantage is doubled up for a Souls game. Sets a card. If he has an Icarus attack, man, that would just be crazy. That Gusto Emerald, you are. I feel like you're a Winged Beast also, aren't you? You're a rock for some dumb reason. Okay, because you're an Emerald. Fair enough. All right, so we see Shadow Mist played. Maybe he's trying to go for the mass change play with Anki on board. Unfortunately, his Shadow Mist won't hit the graveyard, so he will not get a search. Anki would actually be pretty big though. Anki could like clear out a good portion of Soul Game's field, but that assumes that those back row are just not real. Because if they're battle traps or Icarus attack or anything decent, oh, Raptors Gus, yeah, that's gonna shut down the mass change. And I think that might be GG, boys. Yeah, Raptors Gus is a fantastic card. I actually used it in one duel to stop a Solemn Strike. That shit felt so good. All right, we got the Bubble Man play here. All right, not out of options yet. Not out of options yet. Now is when you just go for the fucking biggest succeed you can think of. Like, you just bust out the Gem Knight Pearl or some shit. Because if he can get something 25 or higher, not bad. You know, bust out the Utopia, the Lightning, run over that Gusto Emerald, make your opponent locked into the fuzzy, or excuse me, the last tricks, or excuse me, force tricks, plus the Dark Law, make them kind of just have to sit on those. You try and slow the game down, top deck into your good cards, like your instant fusions, your get back into the game cards. Maybe not a Hero Lives, that doesn't, you have a monster on board, it doesn't really work. All right, so man, that Gusto Emerald like tanked. I just sold mine about a month ago for like 48, 49 bucks. It was like the ultra rares were like $50 not too long ago, and I saw that tag and I was just like, I'm not playing Tellar Knights anytime soon. I'm playing Monarchs. Like, I might as well just sell this shit. I always thought, what if the chance? What is the likelihood of it getting reprinted? I was like, I don't want for it to get reprinted and me just to lose out on all my money. Goes into that Utopia. Is he gonna go for the? Oh, I don't think you can play Lightning Utopia. Yeah, I don't think you can play the Utopia of Lightning in ranked. Not yet. It's not technically legal yet. So takes out Dark Law. I would have taken out that Gusto Emerald so that it couldn't trigger anymore. Because Dark Law is really not a threat right now. All it's gonna do is just sit there and do nothing. But with the Daigusto Emerald, he might be able to use the effect and Luxac draw you. You know, like he might be able to just, rip a Raigeki or something. This shit happened at the YCS, believe me. I was watching that. Dude activated Cosmo Town, sent back one card and drew a Raigeki off that shit. Still lost because, Battle Fader is the man, Battle Fader president and shit. But, it's just always the possibility. I'm pretty sure he has 3 cards in his graveyard, considering the Dark Law was just sent there. So, yeah, if Fluffy's, if he draws a Raigeki, man, you're going to feel a certain type of way about this duel. All right, so he had like at least 5 cards in his graveyard. Yeah, I wouldn't want to give my opponent an extra draw. Although if Soul's Game gets a rank up card, this duel is over. If he gets like a Skip Force, I don't think it's out yet. Yeah, if he gets like a rank up card, this duel is over. Soul Shape is only graveyard, right? Yeah. They don't play Astral Force because Soul Skip is like the same thing. Although, again, I think Soul Skip, I don't know if that card is out in the TCG. I know Ultimate Falcon is not out. That's Shining Victories. All right. Get a search from, a Fuzzy Lanius. He cannot summon, so keep that in mind. Oh, whoa. Is he waving the white flag as he is putting Daigusto Emerald in a defense mode? And this is where Kaiser Coliseum actually becomes a god card. And I remember when Boojins were really hot, people wanted that shit limited. They were like, oh my god, limit Kaiser Coliseum. I was like, nah, that's cool. I'll just summon my Yamato and make it so you can never exceed. But I'll exceed if I want to, though. You just won't be able to exceed. And as good as Yamato was with Kaiser Coliseum. Susanoo was even better with Kaiser Coliseum because that shit was like never gonna die. So he's going to attack. I don't know if he has like Lance or some shit to maybe try and run it over. I would just let it go. I would let it go like Urza from Frozen. Urza's from Fairy Tail, rip. I would let it go like Elsa from Frozen. I'd let it go like Gohan when he was fighting Cell. Just let it go. So Soul's Game is saying, hey, are you going to use the effect or not? Yeah, he could be trying to bait out a Solemn Strike. I'd let it go, dude. If he happens to have Forbidden Chalice, or excuse me, Forbidden Lance, just that's too good, dude. You can't beat that. All right, so he opts to have no effect. And okay, it just dies. Bluff does not work for Soul's Game. He eats 700 damage. Yeah, I mean, just the only out there was pretty much like what's it called? Oh, he's going for the skip for, or he was going for the Soul Shade Force. Calculated. Oh man. So he's now able to bring back that Force Tricks. Damn, dude, the life point cost of that card is a lot though. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's worth it getting Cyber Infinity. Like, it's definitely worth it getting a Cyber Dragon Infinity. Being able to rank that mother lover up. Being able to do this all through Kaiser Coliseum is, like, really nice, too. Unless Fluffy's has, like, a Vanity's Emptiness or, I don't know, a strike of his own. Because I'm pretty sure he wants to activate Cyber Dragon Infinity's effect to absorb the Utopia. Oh, activates Torrential Tribute. That actually doesn't change anything. He can simply negate the Torrential and then absorb your guy. Yeah, that doesn't actually change anything. Alright. So he's gonna go all Cell on him and absorb. Although he will be able to get, what's it called? I mean, he'll be able to get his Shadow Miss effect, and he won't be able to negate it now. Because he's already used his negate. So Bubble Man will probably be the search. Who knows? Maybe he can make another big XC. He only needs to get over a 2300 monster. It ain't that difficult. So we've seen 2 duels, and we've seen 2 Cyber Infinities for Raid Raptors. And Soul Save Force, I think, is putting in some work right now. Okay, so normal summon. Is he gonna maybe go for Castel, just try and get rid of the Kaiser Coliseum while he can? I think that I would. I think that it's completely worth it. He does go for the Castel. Like, simplify the game state, bro. Your opponent has 1 card in hand. You already know what it is. If they top deck something good, you've got your Cyber Dragon Infinity negate. Just play your cards right. Don't play them dumb. And I think that it's should be game. He says obvious Icarus. Nah, I don't think he needed Icarus. If he had Icarus, I think he just would have saved it. Yeah, if he had Icarus, he wouldn't have needed to make Castel. He just would have Icarus whatever you summoned. Like, literally, you would have had Acid and nothing else as your only out. But even Acid could have been stopped by, like, the mass change being stopped by Cyber Dragon Infinity. Alright, so Fluffy's did top deck a monster. Obviously does not use the effect of Blaze Man, because that shit would have been negated instantly. Although, he may have wanted to do that, because then he would have been able to use Bubble Man's effect to draw too. But then he wouldn't have been able to exceed, so that would have been bad. So he is going into the XC, going into the death of the XCs. Has to get over a 2300 monster without using effects. Goes for Dark Rebellion XC Dragon. Yuta would be proud. Unfortunately, it falls into a Solemn, and this duel comes to a close. Pretty sure, anyways. What's it called? Soul's Game has 4,300 on board. That'll leave Fluffy's with 13. So if he has any type of other monster, this should be game. I don't think that other face down matters at all if it's a offensive or defensive card. Soul's Game can really just draw any monster that has like over 1300 and just end the duel. But I don't know. Maybe Fluffies will just scoop. He says totally knew that there was a Solemn. So I guess Bubble Man didn't really matter. He just would have gotten Solemned if he would have tried to. If he would have used Blaze Man's effect, Cyber Dragon Infinity would have negated it. I guess the Bubble Man would have got negated by Solemn Strike anyway. Solemn Strike's such a powerful card. How much are you? $61. Bam, nailed it. $61 exactly. I did not know that card price before. I just like thought off the top of my head. I was like, around $60. Let's go $61. Nailed it, boys. All right. And GG, Raid Raptors, or as I like to call them, Brewery Raptors, take it over Mass Heroes. Thank you guys for watching as always.